demand yourself sometimes. But at the end, you gotta give it back or you gotta pay her. Because you're two different people. Same as with two different businesses. The only difference is that one gives support to the other. So that lowers my cost. I don't have to have a person who has to call producers. Now, the advantage with that is that for this restaurant, I probably order about 20 kilos of white potato. Well, sorry. In my business, I sell this business 20 or 10 or 20 kilos of potato, but I buy 50, 60, 100 kilos. So I'm buying in bulk. Bulk is much cheaper than buying 10. Buying 100 kilos of potato is way cheaper than buying 10. The cost goes way down. Now, in the esquina, I don't have to worry about a logistical team. I don't have it. My only logistics is with my head chef. He has to make sure his kitchen has everything. That's his logistics side. All he has to do is know how to use the system and order. And in my other business, a specialty is logistics. The logistics that my business does is buy and sell and keep. I don't keep for them. I keep for myself because it's called the production plant. So one restaurant comes to me and says, this is the recipe for this dish that I want to make. For one of the ingredients of the dish. Can you make it? Well, my business says yes, but it's going to cost you this much. So I sell you the recipe with your own ingredients, with your own recipe. And that recipe, I don't sell it to nobody else. It's your own recipe. I make it for you. So I buy the tomatoes, I buy the carrots, I buy the sugar, and I make the tomato sauce for you. So you don't have to worry about making the tomato sauce. You don't waste. I don't waste the esquina gas. I don't waste electricity, storage space. They have my storage space. They have everything I need. So if I need a packet of pomarola, I call them and I go, hey, look, I need 2 kilos of the 20 kilos of pomarola you have in your storage. That's it. They sell me 20 kilos. That's the bill. They give me an invoice. And I go keeping my invoices, and at the end of the month, I pay everything. 2 different businesses. But one business brings support to the other business.
So you only provide that to your restaurant?
Yes, only to my restaurants for now. I do have other customers with Concepto Gastronómico because of what it specializes in. I do have other clients. But recipes, I only sell to my own restaurants as private clientele.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have seen different kind of structure for regular restaurants. We thought that always you have restaurants in your restaurant, you have everything in your restaurant.
When you have a small restaurant, sometimes it's not convenient. If you have a large restaurant, it could be. If it was El Bulli, that's a different story.
Yes.
El Bulli gets its own products, makes its own things, and stores its own things. But the Bulli has the advantage that they only open 6 months a year. Well, they used to open when it existed. Smaller restaurants like Astrid y Gaston, actually all of Gaston's chain, uses one production center. The production center makes everything for everybody. That's what we do. We didn't bring the concept. The concept is a North American concept. North America started with this type of concept that one business brings support to the others, but they're totally different businesses. And before law, they're totally different businesses, and one buys from another, and you have to overcharge. You have to overcharge. Because you can't have a business that doesn't make any money. It's a business. So basically, I don't have a storage cost. I don't waste in production, except for everything that I have to produce during the day. But that's a day-to-day deal. And it actually cheapens the whole process. So it's basically a concept of tercerizar certain types of jobs. And it's a format that almost nobody uses. We're one of, I think, 3 businesses in Lima which uses this type of format. One of them is Gaston. Gaston uses this format, and he's been using this format for many years because something has to be perfect. So he has to know it's perfect. So he has a production center. The production center makes everything the same. I have a production center. The difference is that my production center is not as big as his, obviously. But I supply all three of my restaurants and I supply them very well. And probably if everything goes well and my production center grows, I'll start supplying new businesses. Whoever wants to come into this type of business is more than welcome. And they can contact me and tell me, look, these are my recipes. And of course, we sign a contract, a confidentiality contract. Because if you give me your recipes, I'm not going to give them to anybody else. And the day you want your recipes back, I give them back and I keep no copies. That's your own recipes, all we do is cook for you. So that's basically the format we use here for the esquina and for sofa.
So with that, you haven't had any emergency purchases, right?
No, we haven't had any problems with the format. Everything's been going on perfectly. The big problem with every single business, not just restaurants, is finding capable people. You can't find a good logistics boss. Logistical problems are a nightmare because it's almost like a bottleneck. If you have a problem in logistics, you have a problem with all supplies. So if somebody in storage forgot to put away the meat, well, none of my businesses have meat. So that's a big problem, which is one we've been dealing with different areas. My main business in Concepto Gastronómico, which is buy and sell, has two areas. The one that buys and pays, and the one that receptions all the product and stores the product and sends the product. Basically those two areas, that's it. And similar here, I have two areas. I have one guy that's in charge of salon and bar, and one guy that's in charge of the kitchen. And then I have a head chef, an executive chef. He's in charge of all three of my kitchens and the supply of all three of my kitchens. So it's an integral chain, it goes up. But as it goes up, it also has to come down. That's the main important part about dealing with different businesses and having them all work together. You have to have a link and you have to have a chain. And for that, I use a system, which is my front office and back office, which I can't give you the name, but it was a quite expensive deal, and we're still tweaking it. We have a couple of things and a couple of modules we have to implement, but it's been working really great. All my kitchens are always supplied, all my restaurants are always supplied with everything I need, and also I import with Concepto Gastronómico, and they're doing a very good job of importing with the norms that the HESA has, and nationalizing products and paying the debts and the taxes. So yeah, it's been working out great. I have a good team, which is the most important thing.
That's great. Well, Diego, that's everything. Thank you so much.